Successful execution requires an effective sales process. There is not a one-size-fits-all. Yesterday, Chet says, if you follow my 7-step sales process, by the way, I happen to have a 7-step sales process, but you know what? It's not about the 7 steps. It's about how your people buy, your customers buy, and what steps make sense. It could be 2 steps, could be 4 steps, could be 20 steps. So there's not a one, here it is, and it's one size fits all. You have to have an abundance mentality because you have to be able to walk away. And if you're desperate for the business, you're going to cave and this isn't going to work for you. Play doctor, not poker. Now, when I train people, I give them all stethoscopes. And when we do role playing, I make them wear the stethoscope because I want them to get that they're the doctor. Okay? Ask tough questions. Jay is a master at this. He will ask real good, thought-provoking questions. And I find a lot of salespeople will dance around the issue, but they just won't go straight for it. And if you ask thought-provoking questions, be prepared to just sit in silence for a while because they've got to process what you ask them. So learn to be comfortable with silence. Be able to read the 4 personality types. Why? If you have a sales process and you're talking to somebody like me who's a dominant, you're going to move through it very quickly. If you're talking to somebody else who's analytical, that process is going to go, same process, but it's going to take 3 times longer because they want to know that they're making the right decision and they need more detail. There's no right or wrong here. It's just learning to adapt to the people you're talking to. We know the golden rule, right? Golden rule is treat others like yourself. That's not the right rule, right? It's the platinum rule, right? The platinum rule is treat others the way they want to be treated. And that's why you have to understand the 4 types because the style in which you ask questions will change it based upon the type. The speed in which you move through the sales process will change upon the type. Okay? And the questions you can anticipate them asking will be fairly predictable based upon the type. And all of us have one type that we're a real mismatch for. And if you know that going in, you'll know how to prepare so that you can win the deal instead of getting frustrated. Okay? And the last thing I had was master the art of the takeaway. Everybody's heard of the takeaway? Okay? The art of the takeaway is this. It's a reverse psychology move that actually causes them to sell you instead of you to sell them. And it's both a mindset, it's a technique, and it's also a process. So there's lots of elements of the takeaway, but done properly, you'll get them to sell you, actually that's not true. Done properly, you'll get to the truth, and you may not like what you hear. Okay? But that's what you need because, you know what, let's play fair or let's not play. Okay? And when you end up in a poker match and you realize you're in a poker match, then you pull out the takeaway because the takeaway just pulls out the rug and gets real.